Brother lads, welcome back to the Kosi Arsenal podcast. My name is Kosi. Welcome back to a brand new video. The Manchester United Arsenal game is here. It's Wednesday, and trust me, it's a very special occasion whenever we play these lads. I tell you, they're not in good form. They've not been good for the last 10 years, but whenever Arsenal play Manchester United, it's a derby that I don't know where it originated from, but such an important fixture. But let's get into the combined 11. How many Manchester United players get into this Arsenal side? I mean, I will be shocked if I can put 3 or more players from Manchester United inside this Arsenal team. And by the way, we've not been that good, apart from the last 3 fixtures. This season, we have had our own, fair share of problems. But I want to see if we did a combined 11, which this video is about, how many Manchester United players could we put into the Arsenal lineup? Yeah, it might be annoying, at some point in time, because I'm not going to do an Arsenal 11, then it would be pointless. So I'm going to make room for a few Manchester United players in the Arsenal United combined 11. But let me know. Let's go position by position in the comment box below. Now, in goal, that is where the huge contention actually begins, because I think Onana has been really in good form, but also Raya's had such a very good start to the campaign. I mean, we are talking about a goalkeeper who is one of the best in Europe at the moment. We are talking about the UEFA Champions League, best goalkeeper. I think top 3. He's definitely there, and in the Premier League as well. Now, Man United have not conceded as many. You will be shocked. Actually, United have conceded fewer goals than Arsenal have, right? So that tells you that with that kind of shaky performance and shaky defense, Andre Onana has been really, really good this campaign. But of course, if you remember the opening games of the campaign, the incredible saves against Aston Villa, the incredible saves against Atalanta, Raya has been so important for us. And any Arsenal fan who says that Raya is not the best goalkeeper in the Premier League right now, I'll take that with a pinch of salt. For me, he's the best goalkeeper. Again, he's not put a foot wrong this campaign so far. So I really appreciate Onana. I really, really do. And I would say, listen, if anyone thinks that Onana has been better than Raya this campaign, I wouldn't really disagree, right? But for me as an Arsenal fan, I have seen all about Raya, and I can tell you, best goalkeeper in the league right about now. If not, one of the best goalkeepers in Europe right about now. Now, in defense, again, Arsenal's defense has been really good. But this season, we have seen what you would say is a collective dip or a collective drop in form, as opposed to one player losing their form or 2 players losing their form. And of course, that collective decline has come as courtesy of injuries. It has come as courtesy of players, literally, I think, suffering from burnout. We are getting back there. We considered 1 against Sporting, we considered 2 against West Ham, and we didn't consider against Nottingham Forest. Actually, we considered 1, but it was offside. So you can see that the performances are reflective of an Arsenal team that is in recovery. But I think for Manchester United, for them to be having such a dreadful season, but they've conceded less goals than Arsenal, you've got to be very, 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 very honest, and you've got to give them the credit they deserve. So I'm going to start with the right back, and at right back, I'm going to go with Julian Timber. The thing is, if it was between Ben White and Mazraoui, we would have, kind of a contention. But Mazraoui has been really good, actually really, really good. But Julian Timber is a good player. Guys, everybody knows. I can't say he's one of the best right backs in the league right now. I don't think that would be fair to players like Trent. I think Trent is having such a good season as compared to the last season he had under Jurgen Klopp. So I don't think that would be fair for me to say, oh, Julian Timber is the best right back right now. I think there are the better players at right back right now, but I don't think Mazraoui is better than him so far. Now, I think he's revolutionized the way Manchester United play. I think he's fueled a lot of confidence at right back. And also, I think he's just allowed them to play Diogo Dalot on the left-hand side. And everything has actually worked out for them. But I'm still going to go with Jalen Temba. I think he's a key player for us. Really key player for us. Now, at left back, I'll tell you this. I've not been convinced by any of the players Arsenal have put out there. Yeah, I've not been convinced by any of the players Arsenal have put out. So I'm going to go with Diogo Dalot. And I think if you're going to pick one defender from Manchester United, it's going to be Diogo Dalot. It's going to be Diogo Dalot. I hope I find him in this lineup. But it's going to be Diogo Dalot. He's been absolutely, pivotal for them. He's been a very, 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 good player for them this campaign. And the fact that he's playing out as a right back, he's playing on the left, and he's still doing good, great magic. I think I'll put him over Calafiori, I'll put him over Lewis Kelly, and I'll put him over Kivio and Calafiori, who have played in that position for Arsenal. Now, for me, there is one player that I think is definitely going to be in this lineup, and that's Gabriel Magalhaes. Listen, as opposed to back then when, it was always Saliba first in the starting 11, I think Gabriel is now like the better centre back in terms of providing more. Now, of course, defensively, there's no question Saliba is a wonderful centre back. But Gabriel has also improved in terms of defending. Like, he's more consistent and he's not putting a lot of feet wrong. I think the difference between Gabriel and Saliba now is that Gabriel has scored a lot of goals earlier on in the season. He's scored at Sporting, he's scored at City, he's scored at West Ham, and I think he scored another goal for us as well. Was it against what? Was it PSG? Something. He has scored around 4-5 goals already this campaign. And that is, quite remarkable because I want to get it right. How many goals has he scored this campaign? In the Premier League alone, he has scored 3 as a centre-back, right? And then 1 in the Champions League. So he's scored 4 goals for us already. I think if you have a guy that is defending very well and he's also scoring goals. And not just goals, important goals. That goal against City was so important for us. And then he scored the opener. He scored the opener against West Ham as well. For a team that has been struggling to score. And, you have a centre-back. I don't think anyone in the Arsenal team has 10 goals this season. No one actually has. I think Saka could be our top scorer, or Kai Havertz, with either 5 or 6. So for a centre-back to have 3, remarkable. So I'll say Gabriel is definitely in there, right? Gabriel is definitely in there. And then the question becomes, do we go with William Saliba or do we go with one of the Manchester United centre-backs? Like I said, Manchester United have conceded fewer goals than Arsenal. Their problem has always been not scoring, but defending, yeah, they've also had their fair share of problems, but I don't think Arsenal have been really, really so much better than Manchester United defensively. I'm not going to go with Matthias de Ligt, but I'm going to go with Lisandro Martinez. This is the first time I've left William Saliba out of a combined 11. And I tell you, Lisandro Martinez has made more interceptions than any other centre-back in the Premier League this season. You've got to give it to him. So for me, Gabriel, Lisandro, both of them are left-footed, but it's a combined 11 nonetheless. And then, those two, Timber and Dalot, that would be my combined defense. out of course, anyone is going to say, oh, William Saliba is much better. I don't really care if you want to go with William Saliba, or if someone wants to go with Matthias de Ligt. I don't have a problem with that. Now, in midfield, it's quite tricky, right? But I think this is this is the criteria we're going to use. Players in form, right? And the most important players for each team. So the most important player in midfield for Arsenal is Odegaard, and the most important player for Manchester United is Bruno Fernandes. I think we will go with those two, and then we shall decide who plays in that defensive role. Is it Kobe Mainu? Is it Casemiro? Is it Mikel Merino? Is it Rice? Is it Partey? Because they've all played in the position this campaign so far. So I'm gonna go with Bruno Fernandes. I think he's a sensational talent. I've already said this, that if I went to Manchester United, the player I would take. I mean, there are a few things I don't like about him, especially when he chooses to play long balls instead of calmly waiting to build up. But he's a sensational talent. Odegaard, when Arsenal don't have him, we look like a team that is lost at sea. We look like a bunch of sailors, a bunch of pirates that don't have a captain. And he is our captain. Now, in this defensive midfield role, there is only one name I could go for, and that's Thomas Partey. There is an argument that Partey has been the best defensive midfielder in the Premier League so far, especially without Rodri. Is that true? I don't know. But I think if you're a Manchester United fan, or if you're an Arsenal fan, you should be contented with this midfield three. And the reason as to why I think you should be contented is that I don't think United do have a CM or a DM that is better than Partey. I mean, there were talk about Casemiro because he was scoring a lot of goals when he had just come in. We all know how that one ended. And by the way, Partey is not getting any younger too, but Partey is getting really, really better. He's suffered quite a nasty injury. We'd love to find out whether he's going to be available. But the whole point is best in his position without Rodri playing. Bruno Fernandes and his creativity. I think when I think about Bruno Fernandes, that is what Arsenal are lacking, actually. Like, that guy that can operate in that pocket of space. Mikel Arteta has really tried to find that player, and he hasn't. And he splashed a lot of money in that pocket of space, by the way. He splashed 40 million euros on Fabio Vieira, didn't work. Another 40 million euros on Mikel Merino. I can tell you right now, I've been told not to speak about him on this channel, definitely, and 100 million on Declan Rice. Rice can be the ultimate successor to Partey. Luckily, the 100 million will serve its purpose. But I think Arsenal are going to go to the market at some point in time, in January or the summer, and go and get another player playing in the pocket of space. Of course, United cannot give you Bruno Fernandes, but that's the player. That's the kind of guy you need. Like, the way Man United operate with Eriksen and Bruno. Both of them are very creative players, but the difference is that Eriksen has got that ability. He can play as a 10. He's played as a 10 for Spurs, but now because he's getting older and he's slowed down, he's got the ability to just chill in those little pockets of space and just take care of possession. So Bruno can do that as well as Martin Odegaard. So I think that's fair if we go with Bruno, Partey, and Odegaard. Now up top, again, Arsenal have not scored a lot of goals apart from our last 3 games, but I'm going for the whole campaign, all right? And that brings something very interesting to this team. Rashford on the left, Garnacho on the left, Martinelli and Trossard. That is That is the first debate. And for me, I would love Trossard to be there, but no, this season he's getting back, but no, it hasn't been him. Martinelli has also tried to come back and kind of bring this vibe. I think he's getting back in form and on fire. And by the time he was getting back on fire, that's when the managers dropped him for like 3 consecutive games. Like 3 consecutive games, right? I don't know why. Maybe he's injured or something. But I'm going to go with Garnacho. He's been the more consistent of all the players that we can put in this position. Garnacho, one, more consistent than Rashford, more consistent than any Manchester United player out there up front. He's wasting a lot of chances, but he's also getting into very good positions. Martinelli, I think we've seen 2-3 good games of Martinelli just that. Trossard, like 1 or 2 good games out of him. So I'm going to go with Garnacho, and I'm really, really strong about that. Kai Havertz, now, for me, it's Havertz here up top. Because Zaxi and Rasmus Hojlund, just like the other players I've talked about, Rashford and the others, they've had some good games, but only 1 or 2 good games out of 13 or out of the 15 they played this campaign. If you think about Rasmus Hojlund, he had a good game against Everton. Not Everton. He had a good game against Bordeaux. That was in the Europa League. And maybe one other good game. Joshua Zirkzee had a good game against Everton. That's it, right? The thing with Kai Havertz is that he's been consistently given football, and he has consistently showed that he can deliver. And then, obviously, your boy, Bukayo Saka, right? Your boy, Bukayo Saka. Saka's created more assists than any other player in the Premier League so far, by the way. So, he's the most creative player in the Premier League. Yeah, I know this one's going to have problems. How many Manchester United players have we put in there? Garnacho, Bruno, Dalot, and Martinez. Around 4 players. And I think that's really fair. That's really fair. The one player I would remove maybe would be just Lisandro Martinez, and then I put Saliba. But apart from that, I think it's fair. I mean, guys, I was trying to be objective.